Hello and welcome to another edition of Big Centre TV's film show. Now, if there's one thing we've discovered since coming on air earlier this year, it's that there's no shortage of talented filmmakers across the West Midlands. Tonight, we'll be meeting not one, but two of them and previewing their latest work. Now, my first guest has already been recognised by a foundation run by none other than Oscar winner Kevin Spacey. So, David Toms, welcome to Brummywood Yammywood. Let's get one thing out of the way straight away. David Toms, not the golfer.
No, definitely not the golfer. Although mistaken on Twitter quite a few times, definitely not the golfer.
Do you play golf?
Never played it in my life. Crazy golf I have, in fact, but that's it.
So this is David Toms, the movie maker.
That's right.
Tell us about your movie making story then. Where did it begin?
So the cliche goes, obviously, started making them as a child with my dad and an old digital camera, getting him to act in them. And then basically throughout the course of my education, went to college and did a BTEC in moving image, then went to university at Coventry, did a degree in film production there. And that's when I really started to love the kind of production of a film. And I originally wanted to go into TV, but something really captured me about making short films at university and just really enjoyed the process. And then first thing out of university, I made a short film called The Objects, which was the first short I made kind of off my own back with no help from other students and stuff. And that thankfully got into a film festival in America, which was absolutely amazing, in Pasadena, California.
What was the concept of that film then? What was that?
So that was a little bit Pulp Fiction-y. You've got a briefcase, no one knows quite what's in it, but it's believed that it's a rare and impossible art artifact. And the film surrounds these businessmen that discuss the acquisition of them, and they become almost obsessed with their existence. And that kind of thriller sci-fi tone has continued through my other work as well. Then after that, did a film called Fassenden Avenue, which was supported by the Kevin Spacey Foundation, which was an absolutely amazing honour, and beat out hundreds of applicants for that grant and that support.
How did that come about then? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? How does it work?
So we put in an application several weeks before production, and we kind of didn't think, oh, you know, it won't work out, we won't hear back. There's going to be so many people going for this. And thankfully, a day after we finished filming, midnight actually, I think it was, when we just got back from set, we got the notification that we'd love to support your film. And they were just really keen to support young filmmakers, especially in the UK where Kevin Spacey's got a real connection with. And we were just one of the lucky ones, I guess.
But that's a big plus from your point of view, isn't it? Because it says, look, important people who've been there and done it think you're heading in the right direction here. So.
Well, exactly, and that I think really is one of the great things about it. It gave us a bit of an elevation, and we think as well, you know, Maeve even gave the film festival that selected Fassenden Avenue a little bit of a push to say, you know, other people are looking at this, so maybe you should too. So it was a great boost for us as filmmakers. And then on to now, where we've made another short film with a very similar team, the same DOP, same sound crew and everything, and we're hoping that gets into festivals as well.
And so Fassenden Avenue, what was that one? That was totally different to your first, was it?
Yeah, this one was about an author, sort of a Stephen King type character, who basically was confronted by one of his characters from his own book because he decided to kill off this character's lover. So it was a bit of a surrealist kind of, again, in the same kind of themes as my other work.
And can they be seen? Can people watch those?
Yeah, so if they go on davidtomsfilm.com, they can see all of those short films currently online.
So that brings us almost up to the present then. So your latest work, which we've got a clip to show in a moment, tell us about that one.
So this is a short film that we finished production on a few weeks ago now, just over a month ago actually. And it surrounds a young man called Dylan who's a runaway and he's left his family after some kind of world-changing event. It's a bit of a dystopian thriller. And he comes across a farm in the middle of nowhere, and a man called Harry, who's an aging farmer whose family is nowhere to be seen. And for both of them, it's the first people they've seen in months and maybe even years. And the film surrounds the relationship and how you come to terms with company after being alone for so long.
And how long did it take you to film that then, and where did you shoot it?
This was a 2-day shoot, and we shot it in rural Shropshire, which was an amazing experience. It was such a difference from shooting in kind of the kind of centre of Birmingham and whatever. So it was a really nice experience for me to get out of the city. So it was a really fun shoot.
Well, we'll look at a clip now. Just introduce it for us, put it in context. What are we about to see?
So this is a clip from right at the start of the film, about a minute in. The young man Dylan's come on the farm and he's passed out from exhaustion. And we're about to see the first conversation between him and Harry.
Let's have a look at this from after.
Wake up. Wake up. Come on, wake up. You're still with us. Yeah. How's your leg?
It'll be all right.
Eat that. That'll help. Where'd you come from? I said, where'd you come from?
I'm Dylan.
Harry. How old are you?
24, I think.
Well, when were you born?
2013.
Right. Just tell me where you came from.
Home.
Where is home?
East. I don't know. I've been walking for so long.
I haven't seen anyone else in years. Are there more of you?
The last people I saw were my family.
Did they follow you?
I doubt it. I left them.
Well, you're not stopping here.
Why not? I've got nowhere else to go.
By the sound of it, that was your
I
choice.
didn't choose anything. You can't pick your family, you know.
You can stay here for tonight, and that's it.
So I guess we call that, what, a dystopian thriller type of a movie?
Yeah, definitely. It's set around 20 to 30 years in the future in rural Shropshire, as I said. And it's really something we wanted to do because most of these dystopian films, they focus on like the virus or the zombies, and we wanted to focus on the characters and what actually happens to the people after these things happen.
How easy is it when you've got, you've got a story, like you've got a concept, you're a local filmmaker, you haven't got millions of pounds to spend, to find the actors, to find the locations, to find the crew? Is it a good place, the West Midlands?
It's brilliant. I mean, all the talent we used, for the most part anyway, I think the furthest afield somebody came from was Sheffield. We kind of kept it all local. And the talent resources available here, both in the crew and cast departments, are absolutely amazing. And the internet makes that so much easier than it would have been, say, 15 years ago.
So you used, obviously, you ventured out to Shropshire location-wise. You've very much, though, centred around Birmingham with your previous movies from a location point of view, haven't you?
Yeah, so The Objects was shot in Birmingham City Centre, Fassenden Avenue was shot at the University of Birmingham, and really it's just been about, I guess, maybe a comfort level thing, finding my feet, using the places I know, whereas with this one we wanted to go bigger with the scale, bigger with the ambition, and go somewhere completely out in the, the sticks, I guess, middle of nowhere, but it was such a more fun experience. You've got less variables, you haven't got traffic to contend with, or, traffic buses, etc. The most you've got is tractors and cows, which is good.
So you're in post-production with this now then, are you? What's the plan for this film?
So the plan for this film is to send it on the festival circuit. We're hoping to have the film finished in about 4 or 5 weeks' time, where it's going to be sent for all the audio mastering and post-production for that. The edit's pretty much locked at the moment. The grading's just been done. And once that's finished, send it out to festivals, like I said, hopefully all over the world, and see what happens, I guess.
And then that's the next step up the ladder towards what, a full-length feature, is that?
That's the plan, yeah. I mean, in the next couple of years, I really want to be working towards a feature film and hopefully using the same kind of crew that we've already built, because we've hit a bit of a dynamic with them that we think really works. So we want to just keep making the same kind of films, the same kind of themes and tones with the same crew, and hopefully be onto a bit of a winner.
How do you fund it? I mean, obviously you can't make these things for completely nothing at all. Do you go, down a crowdfunding route, or what do you do with?
Well, with this one and with the last 2 films as well, there's been a bit of a mixture. There's been some crowdfunding in there, and this one especially, a third of the fund was crowdfunding. But the rest of it, it's me and my wife just scraping together every penny we can, kind of, just working with what we have, saving up, taking money out of our salaries, putting it aside in savings accounts. I think with filmmaking, if you love it as much as I do, as much as other filmmakers do, you do sometimes sacrifice quite a lot to make these films, but hopefully the end result kind of speaks for it.
Well, and you're building up a CV, aren't you, as well?
Exactly.
You put it
that's
there in front of you, and presumably that makes it easier every time you make another one.
Well, exactly, and like I said, the scale with this one's slightly bigger and notably bigger, I think, than the other two films, and the location choices, the cast choices, everything's gone up in scale, and we think it's a reflection of not just myself, but other crew and everyone else building with the experience.
Well, good luck with After. You must let us know here on Big Centre when it's available for viewers to have a look at, and come back in the studio as well and tell us how you get on the festival circuit if you get any dates.
Definitely will.
David Toms, thank you very much for your time. After the break, we'll be meeting another local movie maker, and we'll also be finding out what happens when you fuse medieval drama with hip-hop. That's definitely a new one on me. So join us in a few minutes for more movie talk here on Brummywood Yammywood on Big Centre TV. Welcome back. Well, it's time to change the tone slightly now as we introduce our second local movie maker this week. His latest project sounds intriguing. It's a mashup of film styles which puts a hip-hop twist on the traditional medieval costume drama. That's not easy to say. I can't wait to find out more. Joel Wilson, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What sort of person comes up with the idea then of putting a hip-hop twist on a medieval costume drama?
I guess someone who's a rapper and a filmmaker. So I've been rapping since I was 17, and I've been making films for around the same amount of time. So those two things seem to work together. I was in a rap group called the Extensioners, and we did only rap storytelling. And I began to see that there was a few people, Canadians, Finnish, UK rappers who were completely capable of storytelling. Really, really beautiful storytelling through rap. So, and then I met Polar Bear, Steve Camden, who is a local, and when I saw what he was able to do, that was really that kind of pushed me to say, okay, this is not just a concept, we need to make this happen.
Because we talk so much, critics alike, particularly talking about the fact you see the same old at the cinemas these days, and we say, well, let's have something that's bristling with originality. You can't get much more original than this. Tell us a bit about it. What's it called, and when did it begin?
The film is called The Quickener, and it began as a poem, then a piece of theater, and then my friend said, look, you got to block it out. Seriously, just choose one scene. It's a ridiculous idea. Just do one scene, see if it works. And then I thought, okay, it was set in two time periods. It was set in contemporary and also 14th century. So, but the 14th century was way more interesting to me. So I just kept on going with that. And then there was some rappers locally like Ju Salim and Tom Grant, who are very, very capable. And I thought, well, if I can get just the right people on board, and then finding Justice Hotep, who's another actor, rapper, and she was in the rap film called One Day, also set in Birmingham. She was one of the main characters in that. So she came on board, and then I thought, okay, I think we have all the elements together. And I mean, it just works. I think that if you have the right style of rap, and if you have the right kind of interaction, you can write dialogue that rhymes. And in this case, we chose to stick away from modern idioms and so it has a kind of a weird poetic flow. Some people would say, well, it's more kind of spoken word than rap, but it shifts the different characters. There's different degrees of rappiness, as it were, to the characters. But we have some proper, Great Bar or Perry Bar people in the film. It's wonderful.
I think before we go any further, let's have a little look at a teaser trailer for this movie.
Okay.
Definitely not to be confused with the Quickening from the Highlander series, then, is it? It's something totally different to that.
Yes, absolutely.
So when did you start filming it? How far back?
Well, we shot it in 2012, and then we shot more of it in 2013. You get to the point where you've done something of an edit, and but it's only been available online since the middle of this year. So at thequickener.com, it's right there to watch. It's half an hour long, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, despite the fact that, you know, there were lots of naysayers. I talked to rappers and filmmakers, all said, yeah, this, like, you don't really do this, these things don't mix. And I just tried to put myself in their shoes, and I thought, you know what? If someone approached me with this idea, I'd say, it just sounds corny. You know, and the medievalist.net people all mocked the film when they heard it was coming out, like all the medievalists online. They're just, oh, they're going to get it wrong for sure. And they were very nice to me once it came out.
Because people mock what they've never seen before, don't they? People,
or they think it's going to be some, like, Martin Lawrence is going to be in it. You know, they think it's going to be something which really is jarring like oil and water. And I was hoping that what we got was we had Shakespearean actors rapping. So Nigel Ford, who was a presenter, he's a poet and he's an actor. And so when you put those words into his mouth, suddenly they have this gravitas and authority. So yeah, early on he does a great job at kind of giving you a different take on rap. It was,
I have to say, it was one of the more memorable 30 minutes of my movie watching life in recent years. I thought it was absolutely just terrifically out there, great fun, just fabulous. Your background in movie making very much came from the musical side originally, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. I was involved in lots of local music, and one of those things, the way I could help my friends was to make a music video for them, whether they were acoustic, rock, whatever genre. So that was one of those things where I would just say, let's cobble a bit of money together, let's get a good concept. If we can get a concept and a little bit of a narrative, and that's what I always tried to say, well, can we do a narrative in 4 minutes? And then this last weekend, I was involved in one of those 48-hour film challenges. And we made a film called The Call, and so that again is that really kind of short time to make something that is narrative and intriguing. So it's a little mystery film we made.
So are you the sort of person that's maybe dabbling with lots of different projects all at the same time?
Yeah, I think when you're just trying to find work and you're trying to find the right projects, you're constantly developing. I'm sure David would have said the same thing, that you're constantly developing little ideas. So at the moment I'm making a film called Levitate, which is about the working musician in Birmingham and what their life is like. And I'm also involved in writing a television pilot, which is for a miniseries called Kiss of Life, which is kind of an adventure thriller. But I'm told I'm not allowed to say much else about that at this point.
We better leave. I don't want to get into trouble. That's the last thing I want to do. So, I mean, obviously you talk about life in Birmingham. It doesn't sound particularly like you've got a traditional Birmingham accent then, so you're not originally from these parts.
No, I've lived here since 1991, so I've lived here most of my life, the majority of my life. I grew up in Ireland and Germany with a Californian mum and a Northern Irish dad, so that's the kind of the mix of things. So my parents said it's a requirement that you see The Killing Fields, 12 Angry Men, Capricorn 1, What's Up Doc. Those are the influences, and then after that I really got into Bergman and Carl Dreyer, and actually Carl Dreyer's The Passion of Joan of Arc and O'Day. Both of those films are like really influential on The Quickener.
I can see that, actually, yeah, I can see that. What's next then? Have you got any more mashups up your sleeve?
Tell you what, my wife told me, no more period drama stuff right now, because our house was just full of armor and things, so she said no more of that.
Have you got extreme reggae ironing or anything like that? What have we got?
No, I'm just writing a script which is just about a mother and daughter who were brought together through a horrible circumstance, and in doing so might be reconciled. So it's very much set in this time, probably in the East Coast in the US. So we'll see what happens with
Bringing in all your influences and life experiences, brilliant.
Yeah.
Just remind us one more time then, where can people see The Quickener?
The Quickener is on thequickener.com, and yeah, enjoy it.
Joel, thank you for coming in, much appreciated.
Thank you.
That's it from the Brummywood Yammywood team this week. Just to say, if you're heading to the cinema this weekend, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to check out the 5th Mission Impossible film. Rogue Nation does come highly recommended, assuming that is you like seeing the Peter Pan of cinema, Tom Cruise, doing his usual trick of somersaulting, punching and charging through every frame without even breaking a sweat. We'll see you next week.
You have to get through 12 feet of concrete and 70,000 gallons of pressurized water without any metal.
No oxygen tanks.
Benji, stand by to receive.
Ethan, you ready?
Important point. If you haven't opened that hatch after 2.5 minutes, we're both dead.
No, no, no.
Ethan, do you copy?
Ethan, abort!
Abort now!
Whoa. Are you okay to drive? I mean, a minute ago you were dead.
What are you talking about?
This is not going to end well.
Mr. Chairman, the time has come to dissolve the IMF. It's not just a rogue organization. It is a disgraced one.
Shutting down the IMF is a mistake you may regret. This is Brent.
Go secure.
Go.
The syndicate is real, and they know who we are.
You need cooling!
A rogue nation, trained to do what we do.
An anti-IMF.
They're coming after us with everything they've got.
Oh boy.
You want to bring down the syndicate? It's impossible.
Take your position.
I have eyes.
The show is about to start.
Got it.
You and your team will answer for every wanton act of mayhem you are responsible for.
Now we are all wanted by the CIA. Awesome.
Get your seatbelt on. You want to be down now?
This may be our last mission. Let's make it count.
Open the door!
Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Benji, open that door right now!
Oh my God!